Hi everyone, thanks for coming to my channel. This is Kendra Plays The Sims, and for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the future of The Sims. Now, I know there's been a lot of speculation and ideas about what's going to be coming in the next year and the upcoming years as well, but the Sims team finally put out a statement, and we're going to go ahead and go through that. So if you're interested in listening, go ahead and stay tuned. But first things first, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, hype, all the great things. That way you never miss my content. And let's go ahead and get started. So based on the article that I read, there are 4 things that we need to know about the future of The Sims. And the first thing is the values of The Sims are unchanged. Now I'm just going to read you a little bit of the synopsis on this article. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll place it down in the description box. That way you can read it yourself. But it says, our Sims team's creative control, guided by our values of inclusivity, choice, creativity, community, and play, has not changed. These values inspire the decisions we make and every day as we plan for today, tomorrow, and the future. Now, I feel like the reason that they actually put this on here was because a lot of people were concerned about who purchased The Sims and what direction it was going to take. Because I think a lot of people were kind of nervous that a lot of people would not be represented in game. And I think that's why a lot of creators started kind of stepping away, not buying all the packs and the kits and all that kind of stuff, which is understandable. So it is nice to know that the values are going to stay the same. I really hope that things don't shift. But we do have a little bit of kind of like reassurance here. So there's some values, and I'll place this in the description box as well so you can read more about them. But at the heart of The Sims, it's all about creativity, play, choice, inclusivity, and community. So let's hope that it stays that way. I really hope we don't shift to something crazy, which I don't think it will. I was kind of like nervous myself, but just reading this article, it gave me a little bit more reassurance. So the next thing that they're wanting us to know about the future of The Sims is that it's going to include experiences across PC, console, and mobile. And that was really great to hear that they're going to be investing in all 3 different platforms. I know certain people play certain ways. Some people play on PC, some people play on console, and there's a lot of people who also play like a mobile version too. So it's great to see that they're trying to expand across all of them. That way all players get what we need. So on the website, it says, that's why we're building a family of new experiences across PC, console, and mobile. Each experiences carries the heart, humor, creativity, and lore you love while introducing its own world, focus, and way to play. Every experience will stand strong on its own, and together they open up a larger world of possibilities. So I think this should be really interesting. They're not really giving us a lot of details when it comes to this. I wish they would have dropped a little bit more gems just so we can kind of see like where things are going. I'll talk about Project Renee in just a moment, but I really do like how they're really trying to give us a little bit more when it comes to our experiences there. I really do hope as a PC player that we still get expansion packs and game packs, stuff packs. I'm not the biggest fan of kits, but I do enjoy them just because of the price point. So I really hope that they continue to put those out. I know there was some kind of like speculation that there wasn't going to be any more expansion packs after this next one when it talks about the royalty and legacy expansion packs. So I really hope that they continue on with that. And I really hope that, you know, especially the console individuals, they get a little bit more, because I always hear that they don't get as much as PCs because they don't have like options to mods and all that kind of stuff that we have. So I really hope they introduce some new stuff to them. I haven't really played any mobile versions of The Sims, so I can't really say what people want there, but I'm sure they'll be expanding and kind of investing in that as well. So it's nice to hear that they're going to be looking to all those platforms and just giving us a little bit more for The Sims. Now, the third thing that the Sims team wants us to know about the future of The Sims is that they're committed to a single player life simulation experience. So what I'm reading on the website, it says single player PC and console experiences will always be a part of our future, with more than half of our global development team dedicated to The Sims 4 and the next evolution. More news in the coming months. So basically what I'm seeing, you know, based off the picture on the screen and what I've read on the article, is that that foundation isn't going anywhere. So I think they're kind of knocking out one of the rumors that, you know, the next expansion pack is going to be the last one and they're just going to be investing in other projects. I think that's kind of knocking that out. It's basically saying like, we have a whole team dedicated to this game and we're focused on the next evolution. And if you think about it, they did put out a survey maybe last year sometime, but they were asking like what we wanted in the game. Now, some of the stuff, you know, we just won't get. I'm hoping that we get the stuff that we asked for, but you never know. But I think they're really dedicated to continuing the game on, because honestly, if they stop giving us expansion packs and, stuff and game packs and kits, it's like, what happens to the game after that, especially if they're not going to give us a Sims 5. So, just reading that and, understanding how The Sims works, I really think they'll continue to just give us what we want, give us expansion packs. And also on the screen too, it says, we'll continue to deliver content and updates to The Sims 4 and are committed to improving the experience. So even with some of the people who had internal access and heard rumors themselves and was kind of giving us information, basically they were not wrong, they were half right, because they are going to still give us updates, but they're also still going to continue to give us content. Now, I don't know what that content will be, but they're still going to give it to us. And then also, lastly, I don't know if you can tell on the screen, but I don't know if you can see the crown there, but I feel like that's pointing to the next expansion pack, which is going to be Royalty and Legacy. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to the future of The Sims is Project Renee. So when I was reading on the website, it says, thanks to ongoing player feedback, Project Renee has evolved to focus on social multiplayer play, offering a more direct way for friends to share creativity together. It also says it is not the successor to The Sims 4 and is a separate experience from any future deep single player life experience. So essentially, we're going to have the PC, console, mobile, and whatever game this is that allows us to have that multiplayer experience. Because I know some people do like, the idea of like playing in The Sims together, and I think that would be really fun. I don't know what it would look like because it says all of this footage is pre-alpha and will differ from the final release. So it's not going to look exactly like this or like what we're seeing on the screen, but we will have the experience to play together, which is really, really interesting. I will definitely test it out on my own because I know like other people who play Sims and I play Sims, and it would be kind of cool to play together and kind of see what that looks like. Like, I wonder if we're going to be able to join families, move in together. Like, I think it would be a really great expansion upon the Sims game, just overall, and just offering another experience for us to just kind of play in a different way. So I think that's very interesting. So that is all the information that I gathered from the article. I will be sure to list it down in the description box. That way you can read it yourself. But I would love to know your thoughts down below based on these 4 things. Like, what do you think is going to happen in the future of The Sims? Just after reading the article and everything that I had to say, what do you think is going to happen next? I would love to know your thoughts. But go ahead and like this video, subscribe, hype, all of the great things, and I will see you in some of my future content. Bye.